Hey guys, good evening. So I know a lot of times I'm always posting people that are like scammers and stuff like that. This is not what that is. I'm going to say it again. This video is not about people scamming or trying to get money for wrong reasons, okay? I recorded this and I'm posting it, just trying to spread the word a little bit. Squishy is trying to help a DV victim and her son escape to safety. And the husband tried to unalive the lady and her son. He was arrested and he's bailed out. And she's trying to help her get to safety. The guy here is Iceman. He lost his daughter to DV situation. So this is why he's involved. The women, they're going to be speaking, are victims, and they're trying to all help too. You can go to his page. It's Iceman77CFM. And there's a video there where he kind of tells the story a little bit. And Jelly Roll commented on his video. It's really, because I was like, oh no, it's not Jelly Roll. And I clicked it, 8 million followers. It's seriously Jelly Roll. So, so he was just trying to help out by giving his platform to kind of spread the word a little bit. You will see the, there's a QR code, I guess, if you want to donate to the fundraiser. And that's it. I'm just trying to put it out there to kind of push it a little bit so more people will see it, hear it, and maybe help. That's all. Okay, guys, here you go. This is the fundraiser for a DV victim.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, my AirPod went dead, so I took it out and I didn't think you could hear me.
Oh, no, I can hear you, hon. You doing okay?
So much. Yes, I appreciate you so much for helping with this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you can hear. I'm trying to figure this box thing out. So, like the way it's set right,
Sweetheart, can you make me a mod and I can change it?
Yes. How do I do that?
Okay, scroll up and click on my name, your favorite squishy.
Okay.
And then there's 3 dots in the top right corner.
Let me see. Okay.
After you hit add moderator, there's like swipe across. You want to make sure they're all on.
All of them? Okay. All right.
That way I can you know what I mean? I can help with the live.
Okay. Absolutely.
I got you. All right, sis, hang on. Iceman, can you add Pink right there? She can help mod for us. She's one of my mods. She's amazing.
Who?
Pinky with the middle finger and the pink bow.
I'm not seeing Pinky.
Hold on. I'm a mod. I can pin comment. No, we can't pin because I'm in the box. There she is. Can you see it now?
Um, now. Okay. Okay, thank you. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Felicia. Jen, I think I tried to just send you a guest request. Let me know if you get it or not. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Trying to get it all figured out. Well, we got 15 people in.
I've been
How's everybody?
it out. If everybody that comes in, if you can share it, we're
Yes.
strictly just going to be talking about domestic violence and how it affects everybody involved, including your community, family members, and that avenue up for people to tell their stories, get it out there, make society not accept it anymore. Try to get stronger punishments for those who want to beat up other people, men and women, because men do go through domestic violence as well. Basically, that's what we're doing. We just want to get this out there.
And we are doing the fundraiser for a friend named Andrea, who is trying to actively trying to escape her domestic violence situation, where she was pretty much he had tried to unalive her and her and her son Jackson, and we were trying to get them to safety. And that's what the fundraiser is for today. Is we're going to be talking about domestic violence and all that, and awareness and getting the message out, but also mainly we're trying to help a friend get out of her domestic violence situation that she's in now and get to safety.
Miss Felicia, as soon as we can figure out how to put there's a Cash App. Of course, it's not her name because we're trying to protect her legal name. So because her abuser is on social media, is on all the platforms, and is going public about the assault that took place, that individual was arrested. He bonded out and has actively been pursuing to continue to finish the job with this gal. So as soon as we can figure out how to put it up, we'll put it up there for you. There is a GoFundMe set up. If you look into my videos, you'll see it. But I don't know how to put the Cash App tag up here.
I think Iceman will have to do it since he's the host, and he can.
May I just say something really, really quickly?
Yes.
We're all here. I want to piggyback off of what she said up there. We're all here for the same reason, to help domestic violence victims not only get to safety, but to be in safety and speak out.
Yes.
We are their voices.
Exactly.
That sound that's been circulating on TikTok about seven times. You go back to your abuser. That's a very true statement. Many don't have a way to get out. Many are too fearful to get out. Many won't speak about what's going on because they're seen as weak or they put themselves there. Law enforcement really doesn't do much other than make the victim feel like a piece of crap. You know, there's really no true support. They hand you a piece of paper and say, oh, here, you know, they can't contact you. But when they do contact you, they don't go out and arrest the individual again. It's just another police report after police report after police report. So we need to be a voice.
Absolutely. How do we put the Cash App up or a link to it to where everybody could click on it and get to it? Is there a way we can do that?
You have to green screen it. So in other words, if you have it, you have to have like a screenshot, save it to your photos, and then go to your enhancements or effects on the bottom, search through your pictures and bring it up that way. I've got the actual screenshot, but I don't have the ability to screen in this live right now.
How would I make it to where you could add you as a co-host?
I'm not quite sure. Possibly modding me, making me a moderator, but don't quote me. I'm not real sure.
Yes, mod her and she can green screen in the big screen. I can make it a big screen if you mod her.
Okay. Which one I'm modding here?
Mama Stevie.
Stevie, right? Okay.
I'm still new at this, so
We're all learning.
TikTok's got a thing about green screens now, so I don't know if it'll affect.
I can do it when I'm live. I can't do it when someone else.
Miss Felicia was giving you some instructions there.
I've been in some lives before to where I've seen them be able to share it like in the chat.
Okay, give me a second. I'm in the big box, so let me see if I can figure out how to bring up my green screen because they've done this new update and I'm not seeing anything for my enhancements, my effects, or nothing.
If you can't do it that way, you can also put a sticker up and just type it in there, and then people can type it into their phone. That's the way I normally do it.
So while she's working on that, I got a couple of key talking points for domestic violence that I got for we can kind of go over those for a second. So definition and forms of domestic violence. Domestic violence refers to patterns of abuse behavior in relationships used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control. Economic, psychological abuse. Abuse can occur in any intimate relationship, regardless of gender, sex orientation.
I think it's important to say that it doesn't matter what culture you live in, it happens. It happens.
Absolutely.
It happens with both men and women.
It happens to, it's the prevalence and statistics, DV affects 1 in 3 men, or 1 in 3 women, and 1 in 4 men globally in their lifetime. It often goes unreported due to fear, shame, stigma, or lack of support systems. And that's kind of important because that's what we're here doing today is we're supporting the cause and we're supporting victims and survivors of domestic violence. And we're showing that there are people out there and there is support, you know, that we are here to support you because so many times the system fails and the resources that are supposed to be available aren't available. And then it comes down to people like you and me to step up and try to make a difference, you know, and to show people that there is help and there is support. You do have people. You do not have to go through this alone.
That's a very true statement.
In most countries, domestic violence is a leading cause of injury to women, is another one of the statistics. In most countries, domestic violence is a leading cause of injury to women. More signs of abuse, warning signs of abuse: extreme jealousy or possessiveness, isolation from friends and family, which we see that all too often, so many times in nearly every case. That's how they start. That's how they start to gain their control, is by isolating you away from anybody that can interfere with them getting that control. Constant criticism or humiliation, control over finances, movements, or decisions, threats or actual physical harm. Impact of domestic violence: physical effects are injury, chronic pain, disability, or even worse. Psychological impacts: depression, PTSD, anxiety, low self-esteem. Children exposed to domestic violence often suffer long-term behavioral and emotional problems. DV can lead to job loss, homelessness, and social dysfunction.
I'm just going to chime in on that part. The videos of the incident that took place.
Yes.
And even after he's been arrested, even after he bonded out, even after he made an additional threat on her life, he continued to call her job continuously. They knew what was going on. She had to leave her job because he was still trying to control every part of her life, even though she was cutting that tie. And a lot of that's due to trauma bond. You know, he loves me. He loves me so much. He's making these promises. And a lot of times folks believe those promises, and that's how we get sucked back in. I'm speaking from experience because that's what happened with me. But I can't speak to everybody, but I see it a lot where the victim goes back time and time again because there are broken promises. I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to do drugs again. I'm never going to cheat again. Whatever the excuse is, they go back.
It's every time it's always, I'm never going to do it again. You know, it'll never be that way again. And it's so easy to fall back into that, especially like what you're talking about, the trauma bond, being bonded by trauma. And,
Right.
And with all that, you know, and it makes it so much easier to go back. It makes it easy to go back. Some barriers.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I'm just trying to kind of get some of this information in, and as you guys are trying to set everything up, so you go right ahead and talk all you want, because you're a much better talker than I am.
I don't know about that, but there was a saying that I heard a while ago after my incident that I endured in. We tend to keep swimming in the same small pond because we're comfortable. We know what to expect, opposed to going out into the big ocean and learning and exploring, because we have that fear of the unknown. So we stay in our small pond because we know exactly what to expect and how to respond to it. I'll be silent. I won't say anything to them. That's how I'll protect myself. You go out into the big ocean and you just have no idea what's gonna approach you, so it's super fearful.
Right. That's a very good point.
Oh, you
You're fine. So some barriers to leaving an abusive relationship: fear of retaliation or unalived, financial dependency, lack of housing or support services, which we see all too often. They say there's resources and ways to get help, but it's nearly impossible to to get those resources and find out more oftentimes than not. Cultural or religious pressure, you know, and just the stigmatism of it, and how our culture tends to suppress that, and you know, a lot of cases, a lot of religions, they think that, you know, they teach that basically you shouldn't ever walk away from a marriage, or women should submit to their husbands and stay in a home, and basically all those types of things with religions. We all know how that is. Emotional attachment and hope for change. So that emotional attachment could be just like she was saying just a few minutes ago, the trauma bonding. That's where that comes in.
There's a gal in the chats. Her name's Kelly Lilly. She's really, really good with all of this. Mm-hmm. She used to do these segments on here a few years ago where she would read DV survivors' stories. She would do it as a live. People would send it to her. She would read them, and it would help recognize those people, give them a voice. And I mean, if she can jump up in a box, that would be great.
Let me see. Which one is it? You said Lily?
Lily.
Can one of you all add her in? Because I'm not seeing.
She just messaged down there in the chat. Oh, she says she's live banned on this one. She'll have to come in on a different account. But she's super knowledgeable. She was super helpful to so many. And I think it's important to say that Andrea, the gal that we're here for today, she also is on this app and has helped so many other people in DV situations. She's driven cross country to relocate people. And now it's just time that she needs a little help.
She has supported so many others and helped so many others. Perfect. Right. There we go. Awesome. And there's the cash up, guys. That's awesome. I'm glad you got that up. And because it's important that really, I don't want nobody gifting me or anything like that. Just make sure you go through her cash app and donate, so that money goes straight to her. There's no transfer of hands here as far as funds. Everything will go straight to the victim, and that just so everyone knows. Anything that you want to give, please go to the Cash App, or even the GoFundMe if you want to go to GoFundMe. Either one, I would recommend Cash App, because for one, it's easier, it's more convenient. Plus, they don't take some of your money. You know,
right? Taxes.
Does take part of your proceeds.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I was told to come in here and speak on my my situation that I went through. If that's okay.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear it.
Absolutely, Queen. Tell us your story, baby.
Hi. I was doing something, and Pink Chrissy sent me a message and told me to come in. So I don't know if y'all know my ex-husband. His name is Ehud. That is the gentleman that DV'd me and essayed me. I was married to him for about 3 months. Everything was good before we got married. The day we got married, we left the courthouse. We had a party, went to the house, and he pretty much told me that he owns me now. And I was stripped down to nothing, no underwear, no clothing, nothing like that. Stayed in the room for about 2 days, peed on myself. And I used the restroom on myself, kind of pretty much made me feel like I was nobody. And I had to ask questions to if I can use the restroom or if I can eat or anything like that. He essayed me on my wedding night. That was my first night that he essayed me. And it continued for about 3 months. Before we were married, let me make this clear. Before we were married, he had mentioned to me that he wanted to do a video stating that a man and a woman can get abused. You know, a woman can abuse a man. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be my husband. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I did that. Well, he used that video saying that I was abusing him, while this man has 9 DV charges on him and 2 SA charges on him as we speak. I got arrested. The day I got arrested, he was beating me, and I ran out of the car, and he chased me down, beat me down, and the neighbor called the police. He lied to the police saying that he put his foot, that I hurt his foot and there was blood on it. So I got arrested. I beat my charges. I never even had a speeding ticket in my life. I ended up beating the charges because the police officer that arrested me mentioned to me that he doesn't realize why I was sitting in the back of the police car, because the arresting officer didn't know what the hell he was doing. He said, you don't have no record. You don't have nothing going on. He says the man that was just let go has 9 DV charges on him, and you're sitting back in my police car, and I don't understand why you're sitting here. When I came out, I cried that night at jail. Sorry if I get emotional. I apologize because I still...
You're
You
fine.
have nothing to apologize for. You are not in the wrong. You have nothing to apologize for.
So, the day I got out of jail, I fought my case, and I fought my case, and I fought my case, and I won. The city of Dallas wrote me a letter apologizing to me, telling me that they don't understand why I got arrested. Meanwhile, this man put me all over social media, put that video that we made saying that a man can get abused too, saying that I was abused, that I had people showing up at my house. He was calling my job, trying to get me fired. I'm an accountant for a trucking company. He was trying to get me fired, but thank God they knew what type of person I was, so they did not work. He embarrassed me, told people to share the video, make me look crazy and all this stuff. And I even, Pink Christie was one of the people that I kind of went after afterwards, because I'm like, you know, we as women needs to stand up for women. And she, you know, she did not know. And so I end up kind of went off on her and a few other people, but I end up forgiving them because, you know what, they did not know. But I just want to just, this man to this day, now he's on the run as we speak. He has another victim, another DV situation that he did. He was on ankle monitor. He violated his parole. He's on the run. He's going from house to house, no place to stay. And he's staying quiet because there are people looking for him. You know, they're because of him being on the run. I just want to say to any victims out there, don't ever think that it was our fault. It is not our fault what we went through.
No.
That's a strong statement, a very strong statement.
It just, to this day, I still see this man. He has made so many videos of me, making fun of me, saying that I look like this, saying I look like this, and it just back and forth. And I live through this every single day. And I've never, ever been through this situation, ever. But you know what? I know the man upstairs, he knows what's going on. And I feel like this man is going to get what's coming for him. Sorry if I'm over here just talking, blabbering.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize at all. People need to hear this, that, you know, there are true survivors. There are real situations that happen, and you're just one of the many. And thank you for speaking out about it.
Thank you. I don't know if Bellyn's still in here. Bellyn, are you still in here? Bellyn is the one that I can honestly say that had my back from day one. She always had my back. She heard my story and she went after him. So if she's in here, I just want to tell her I love her. So
and I'm glad to hear you getting emotional and telling your story and letting some of those feelings come out. That's a form of release, a release for you, and that's part of the healing process. And I'm glad to hear that. I know it's.
Iceman, do you mind if I give a recap right quick for the ones who have just now come in?
You go right ahead.
For those of you, and then I'm going to make it quick, and then I'm going to mute, and someone else can tell their story. For those of you that have just come in, the Cash App that you see on the green screen, she is in an active, unsafe position right now, and extrication is becoming involved, trying to get her to a safe place. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Every time she relocates, he finds her. He's got people that are stalking her children. He tried to kill her in front of her children, and she's got to get out of the area to keep her safe. So that's basically what this fundraiser is for. And then, of course, is looking forward to maybe get this as a start to continue to help other people get to safe places and continue to keep them safe. But that's what it's for. As you can see, it's Lexi Kane, DD Fundraiser 2025. If you cannot help, please just share it out, so we can get this woman and her children to the safest place possible.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mama Stevie, I know you and Steph both have me outside of this app. Can one of you two contact me and see if there's anything that I can do resource-wise off this app to help try to get her to a safety, starting a safety plan with her, doing whatever I can through my business to see if we can't get her out along with your cash out?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And I believe that you know this person. 100%.
Okay, get with me outside of here and we'll talk. That way we still have confidentiality. Just make sure the main points are hit.
Absolutely. So being that the case is still an active case, I don't know if I can give you certain details because a lot of it is still with evidence. But I'll ask. I can set up like a VC or something with the three of us and we can go from there.
That'll be perfectly fine. Whatever they are comfortable with, don't push them. As an advocate, I'm here. I'm available 24/7. My phone's always on. If they want to talk to me privately, everything that I discuss is confidential. And I don't repeat anything unless I have consent. And then I only repeat what I'm allowed with that consent to repeat.
I thank you.
Also, guys, it's important to remember that keeping her identity confidential and all that is very important, and mainly because, as you all know, in a domestic violence situation, and not only with just the active ongoing case, when you decide to leave and you're trying to get out and get away, that's the most dangerous time that there is in a DV situation, is when you're actively trying to leave.
Sometimes it's the fatal point.
This individual has made it so bad for the person that we're fundraising for that she's lost her job. She is about to be evicted. Constantly calling her job, having people this, that, and the other, harassment. I'm a tough old gal, and I've been in this from the beginning, and I'm not sure that I would have been able to do it. And I have resources, and she has done this the best she can on her own, but she's living in nothing but a state of paranoia. She's constant danger. She can't even, go to her mailbox that's probably 150 feet away from her front door for fear of retaliation or something else going on for the constant harassment. So we just decided that the best thing for her is just get her out of the state. And that's what we're doing. Get them saved where she can't be easily found, and that's what she wants. It's like basically a witness protection program without having to go into witness protection.
Guys, there's enough of us in here right now that we can make a difference. and we keep sharing this out. Who says that we can't have a TikTok live and save someone from a domestic violence situation to help get them away and get them to safety? Who says that we can't do that? I know we can do that. We can make that happen. People like us, we can make that happen. Let's show Andrea that she may have been doing this all on her own, but she doesn't have to be alone anymore. We can make a difference one person at a time.
Well, she's definitely been a strong advocate for many points on this app as well as others. She's helped so many. Like I said, she's gone from one side of the United States to the other side and moved people. That's just who she is. She's extremely helpful. People think that, you know, they can take advantage of situations like that, but she's always held everybody accountable, and she's a loving individual. She really is. I think it's important that society behavior. You know, so many times, you know, you'll go to a friend and you'll be like, hey, you know what? This, and this has happened. And the friend's like, oh, well, you know, that happens here too. That's okay. But it's not okay. If you're uncomfortable with something and you're saying that it's making you uncomfortable, follow your gut. Your gut's never going to steer you wrong. Not ever.
So let me pull up some, let's search. How best can I support domestic violence victims? Supporting domestic violence victims requires sensitivity, trust building, and access to the right resources. Here are the best ways to support someone experiencing domestic violence, whether you're a friend, family member, colleague, or a part of a support network. Number one is believe them and listen without judgment. Let them share their story at their own pace. Avoid blaming or questioning their choices. Like the main number one is, why didn't you leave? Avoid, you know, that's the number one thing that people asking is, why didn't you leave? There's a lot of reasons that are going to their head on why they didn't leave or why they have not been able to get out. A lot of times it's just they're just waiting for the right time, and you may be able to make it, you know, help them make this the right time for them to get out. So let's remember that. Say things like, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. You don't deserve this, and I believe you. I know some of this is a little silly, common sense would tell you, but offer emotional support, be consistent and patient. Abuse survivors often feel isolated and ashamed. Man, I'm sure that all you out there that have been through the DV knows that part of it.
Can I interject real quick?
Yes, that's why I'm pausing in between to give plenty of time so that we can touch on these talking points.
One of the best ways to support somebody who is in an active case or just getting out of an active case is listen to them. They have been silenced for so long, and they can't start to move away from this and start to heal as long as it's built up inside of them. Absolutely. And you're right, you can't be judgmental towards them. You can't sit there and say, well, if this had been me, because then you're devaluing what they have endured. And it's not fair to them. It's almost re-victimizing them. Not only am I an advocate, but I went through it. I was almost murdered 5 years ago. So my personal experience, I can't state to anybody else's because everybody's situation is completely different. And the one thing I absolutely hate to hear is, well, how hard is it to leave? My sister did that to me so much. Well, Shannon, just get him out. It's not that simple. When you don't know from day to day what they're going to do to you, And then you have the gaslighting and the love bombing. And then, well, he promised he's not going to do it again. Well, today it's just we're having a really good day, so I'm just going to give him another chance. It's always that hope that things are going to get better that makes it hard for us to actually leave until it gets to that point to where it's life or death and you have no options to leave.
Yes.
And I'm going to bounce off of that and say my situation, there was death. He was in and out of prison. His last little run in prison, it was, I love you, it's never going to happen again. I believed it, let him come home. 5 months later, he attempted to take my life, my son's life, and in the midst of that moment, he lost his life. So it's so important that you keep pursuing. Don't give up. Don't give up. Even when the law says, hey, we're doing what we can, there's more that can be done. Reach out to somebody. I found that when I came here to TikTok, the strangers on here gave me more support than law enforcement. So sometimes even just the stranger is a better person to have that conversation with than somebody you know, because there's no judgment.
And if you're in the live right now and you're in an active domestic violence situation, we're here for you. And all you have to do is reach out. Just reach out, and we will be here for you. We will help you find the support that you need. No matter what type of support you need, whatever it may be. I'm personally always here, and I know each and every one of these people in the boxes right now would be too. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. If you're going through it right now and there's anything that we can do to help you get out of that situation, please let us know. And we'll do whatever we can.
And just to reiterate, there is no middle person. The Cash App that you are seeing is getting a woman and her children to safety. This goes directly to her. There is no account that's in between. This is her Cash App straight up. We're basically doing our best to raise the funds to get her out of the state, out of the dangerous situation that she is, give her a fresh start. She's got to find home. She's got to get utilities. She's got to get groceries. She's got to definitely get a job, and she needs resources to do that. She's independent, but at the same time, she needed help because she's never been knocked down this far. Like, she lost everything, job, car. She's about to be evicted. She can't get medication because she lost her job. She lost her insurance because of the harassment. And because, it's just one thing after another. And when she felt like she was completely down on her stomach, she wasn't. She got back up because she was brave enough to ask for help. Hence is why we're here. And she's not the only one that we're trying to help here. Anybody that's out there in the situation that feels like you're trapped, you're not trapped. I've been there. I stayed trapped because I didn't have the resources until finally I got one more knock to the head and one more, something stuck to my head stating that nobody would ever find me. And here I am. I'm still here because I finally got brave enough or got scared enough to be brave. I don't know what happened, but I'm here. The route that you take is never the wrong route when you finally decide enough is enough and you reach out. You have to reach out for help. There's so many out there that have tried to do it on their own and they have not succeeded. We want to have this success. We want to give them the success. This isn't just one person. Like the stats, guys, look at the stats. 7 minutes. The video is accurate. 7 minutes. Look how long that we've already done this live, 30 minutes. Look how many women just in that 30 minutes, something has happened to them just in this short time. And I vowed I would have defense. but I'm not going to have the next person pay for what the last person did. And I thank God for that, because I didn't like men at all. Separated myself from them. I was mean to them. I've been married 33 years now, y'all. I have 3 wonderful children. They're not wonderful all the time, but I have 3 wonderful children, all their flaws, because I was finally able to get the help and get out. And the saddest part about that, I'm 55 now. That shit happened to me when I was 16 and 17 years old. I was still a baby. There is no age discrimination on anything. Just reach out, no matter how embarrassed you may be, how weak you think you are, because you're not weak by any means, ever. Please reach out.
Absolutely. That's the first step of being able to get out of your situation is to reach out, because you're going to need support and you're going to need help, and every situation is different. You may have to and be some planning. There's probably a lot of planning that's going to have to take place, and help with that. You're going to need help with that. So reaching out would be your first step of getting out of your domestic violence situation. And that's another thing too with Andrea, the young lady we're trying to help here, is that it took so much strength for her to ask for help, because like it was mentioned earlier, she has been on this platform and on other platforms and has personally helped so many other women that are going through their domestic violence situation and helped them get to safety. And like she said earlier, drove cross country to help move people and get them away. And she's lived it and preached it, and would have never thought that she would have let herself slip into a situation like that. And it took a lot of strength for her to ask for help. And I'm asking you guys to please, don't let her down. Let's get her the help that she needs, and let's get her to safety. And I think that she deserves that. And I hope that you can find it into your heart to donate. I know that I will be donating, and I'm asking you to please do the same. I know some people may not be able to give a lot, but whatever you can give is going to help, no matter what the amount may be. And it's much appreciated. And it's like I said, we're talking about karma and everything. She deserves this. She's helped so many others. She deserves to have this help.
And even if you can't help, share it out. If you've listened to the story, if somebody asks you, what's this about? The story, you can explain it to them. Have them share it out. It's going to reach people. They're going to ask questions. We get it. Times are hard. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Just share it. And let's get this woman and her children safe.
I think it's important to say that on the GoFundMe, it's asking for $2,500. That was just a rough estimate for the cost of a U-Haul, a trailer, and some fuel expense. I know it's not a whole lot of money, but in the same sense, it is a lot of money because times are hard. But like everybody's been saying, if you can even just donate $1, donate $1. Words of encouragement, being an ear, whatever you can do to help, please do so.
And if there's anybody that's in the chats that has something they'd like to say or add, if you want to come up in a box or something, just put in the chats, and we'll find a way to try to get you up here and listen to what you have.
Sarah, this this live is about domestic violence. We have a gal and her children that are in danger. The abuser has been arrested and is out on bond and has made another threat to fully succeed at taking her life, taking her away from her children. So she's been living in hiding for the last few months. It's been to a point where she had to give up her job, she had to give up her home, and now we're just trying to help her relocate to another state altogether and get her out of the situation.
And we can make a difference, guys.
I'm going to have to leave, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who's come in, and definitely Tatted, thank you for sharing that story. If there's any way that we can support you, please reach out. Inbox is always open. And for anybody that's been listening and knows the situation, if you need further information, please reach out to one of us and we can get that for you. Once a victim, now a warrior. She also does a lot of advocating, so please reach out to her. And I just want to say thanks, guys. Thanks for support and showing up.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here, too.
I'm going to jump out of here and I will talk to you folks in a little bit.
All right.
I follow you, love. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wants to come up in the chats?
I think it's important for people to understand how domestic situations actually happen because they don't start out like this. They start out perfectly normal, what you think is going to be a healthy relationship. And that's where love bombing comes into play, where you fully trust them. You've got every intentions of wanting to have a good, healthy relationship, and they take everything that you say and they start to twist it, which turns into the gaslighting. And it gets to the point where you become a shell of who you were. And by that point, you're in so deep, you don't realize that you're there. And it hits you like a ton of bricks once you realize that you were in an actual domestic situation. And it's extremely hard to get out. It's not just one of those things where he wakes up or she wakes up and decides today's going to be the day I start hitting her. The abuser uses all of their control against you. They start to isolate you. They start manipulating you. They gaslight you to thinking that maybe what's happening really didn't happen, or maybe what's happening really is my fault. Nobody ever asked for this. Don't ever think your abuse is your fault. It's all about power and control.
And I am going to say, am I echoing?
Not to me.
Okay.
Just a little bit, not much.
I am going to say this. A lot of us look at, I think I'm echoing. Let me drop it and come right back.
If I could just say something while she's popping out, I just want to thank everybody who's here for this support system, for this advocacy, and for sharing your stories. I know it's very difficult at times, and I thank everybody for their bravery.
Absolutely.
I am gonna, why am I echoing? A lot of us, we fall in love with people that's over the internet because they're funny creators and stuff like that. We need to look at what's really going on at their home. and not, because that's what I did. I fell in love because he was funny, he was outgoing, he was a jokester. But then when I got into a relationship with him and everything was good the first couple months, and then when we got married, that's when all that shit started and all that abuse started. Like, I ended up not talking to my family. I wasn't allowed to talk to my family. I wasn't allowed to, my finances, I wasn't allowed to do that. He wasn't working. I was the only one that was working, but he was controlling my finances, how much money I was spending, all that stuff. So we need to look at everything. Like, just because they're showing you that they love you, but then beating your ass, that does not make it okay.
And just know, in Tadid's case, she did say it earlier for ones that were not in here, her abuser is still on the run. She is not the only person that he has done this to. He has done this to women previously before her, and apparently now, according to her, he has another one. It doesn't stop unless we get to the point to where something is done to stop them, to where these ladies and these men that are being abused get their justice. They're the ones that are being blamed. They're thinking that they're being blamed, and they're not to blame.
Right.
Sorry, I'm like, I have so much to say. The person that was before me, he caught a charge with her. She had the cancer. She lost her life due to cancer. He beat her with a baseball bat in front of her children while she had a stage 4 cancer. And this is somebody that everybody just love on this app. And I say his name. His name is Ahud Official. He is an evil person walking around. He meets people off this app. He makes you feel special. He moves into your house because he tells you he doesn't have a place to stay. Once he stays at your house, that's when the abuse starts. And I just recently got my divorce from him. It took me almost 2 years to get my divorce.
I think it's also important to point out that we need to contact our congressmen, our governors in our state. We have to vote people into the office that support DV in every way, shape possible. We have to vote in people who are hard on these criminals. I think that's really important. That's the only way laws are going to be changed.
Absolutely, Felicia. That is probably the only way that we're going to make a huge impact in domestic violence is by that change and in our laws and the change in the systems that fails us time and time again.
We need a law for them to be on a registry, like S offender.
Yes, absolutely.
We need to contact our congressman for that and push that.
That would be great. That would be great. That would be good. I know when this happened to my daughter, those of you here that don't know, my daughter was a year ago in a domestic violence situation. And I've just lost my train of thought on that. Anyways, my thought was I wanted to come up with a law that would allow parents or family members to intervene because in just like her situation, she was at a point, I guess she thought it was all her fault and all that, and wasn't willing to get out of the situation or to turn him in, but like an intervention law to where a family member can actually intervene the same way that they would if there was someone in a mental health crisis or that had to be committed or something like that.
Yeah, we could have something, like if somebody's in a cult, you know, they go in and they snatch them out, you know, because, you know, we know we're in a bad situation. We fully understand that. But there's more often no way to get out. And I don't have a problem going in and snatching somebody out.
Yeah, I don't even.
The system is so messed up when it comes to the safety of domestic violence survivors. The way that they handle things, you call the police, you get out, you go to the courthouse. They give you an emergency protective order. They give you a court date to go in front of the judge. You explain to the judge why you are in fear of your life. And then it's up to that judge to decide whether or not your idea of what in fear for your life is actually in fear for your life. In my opinion, as somebody who's been through it, I don't think I need a judge to tell me when a man puts his hands around my throat that that's enough for me to want to be away from him and that I should be granted a protective order. But a protective order is also just a piece of paper for honest people to abide by. I always tell anybody
Exactly.
that I work with, it's just a piece of paper that law-abiding citizens are going to follow. My advice is to protect yourself at all costs. And I will tell anybody that comes to me that you protect yourself no matter the cost.
Absolutely.
Hey, Josh, have you gone over how to implement a safety plan of escape?
Which I just pulled up, so I just pulled this up on chat. Well, I gotta pull it back up. Hold on. Now, what were you saying again, Felicia? The safety.
How to implement a safety plan of escape?
Right. That's what I just pulled up, and it's
You're 100% right, Squish. That piece of paper has not protected this woman or her children at all. If it had, we wouldn't be to the point where we're at right now.
okay. So, planning to leave a domestic violence situation is one of the most critical and dangerous steps a survivor can take. Preparation, timing, and discretion are key to increasing the safety and minimizing risk. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you plan safely and effectively. Understand the risk. Number one, leaving is the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship. The abuser may escalate threats or violence if they sense you're leaving. Do not announce your plan to leave. It's one.
When you go to leave, when you make your safety plan, you don't tell anybody. You don't tell your family. You don't tell your friends. You don't tell your children. You have to be slick. You have to plan it in total secrecy. You only take the absolute most necessary things that you need to survive on a day-to-day basis. Your clothing, food, medication. A lot of people are worried about their animals. You take your animals with you. You take your children with you. You start saving money to the side. You only take the bare necessities for you to survive to get out of that house. Everything else can be replaced.
Absolutely. Number two would be create a safety plan privately, of course. Develop a written or mental plan that includes when and how you'll leave, where you'll go, who you can trust for help, steps to stay safe afterwards. Number three, pack a go bag and hide it. Prepare a small bag you can grab quickly. Store it in a trusted friend's home, car trunk, or workplace. Just make sure that it's hidden. What to include? Things to include would be an ID, passport, birth certificates, keys, cash, debit cards, medication, clothes and hygiene items, legal documents, lease, protection orders, custody papers, important phone numbers written down. Number 4, identify safe places. Know where you can go immediately after leaving. This might be a domestic violence shelter, a trusted friend or family member, a hotel with assistance from an agency, planned transportation, public, whether it's public, transit, ride from a friend, or emergency services. Number 5 would be protect your digital footprint. Use private browsing or incognito mode on your phone or browser. Make sure to clear your browsing history. Change passwords, email, social media, banking. Make sure you change your passwords. Disable share devices, smartphones, Alexa, Google Home. Consider legal options. If safe, talk to a lawyer or domestic violence advocate about filing a restraining order or a protection order, custody of children, emergency legal aid or immigration concerns, police accompaniment when collecting your belongings. That's the thing to consider, is using the police if you're going to collect your belongings. Number 7, mentally prepare for the process. And I think that's probably a real big one right there, is mentally preparing yourself and getting your mindset right for what you're about to have to deal with and what's coming up, because it's not easy getting out of that situation, and we all know that. So mentally prepare for the process. Leaving can bring emotional and logistical challenges. You may feel guilt, you may feel fear, grief, or doubt. Those are all normal feelings. Remember, you are not to blame and you deserve safety. So it's like we were talking about earlier, so many women have been manipulated into thinking that what is happening to them is their fault. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. Is never your fault. It's never your fault that someone that loves you chooses to hurt you. So it's important to remember you are not to blame and you deserve safety. Plan for emotional support, counseling, hotlines, friends. And then after you leave, you have to stay safe. So things to remember there is, don't go back alone. If you leave and you have to go back to get something or for any reason, don't go back alone. Police can escort you to get your belongings. Change your phone number and consider a new SIM card. You can get a P.O. box at the post office, or ask to keep your new address confidential. Inform your employee, school, or child care provider to alert them. Vary your routines. Don't continue with all your same routines. So vary your routines and avoid known hangouts or patterns.
I just would like to say something, if I could, that I just want to let all the men and women that are in a DV situation, these abusers, strip you of your dignity, your character, everything. And I just want everybody to remember to please not say to yourself that you're stupid and how could you let this happen. But remember this, they are really good at what they do. They are number one at what they do. And they seek out the most intelligent, vulnerable people. So you don't ever say that you were stupid and blame yourself.
Absolutely. 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 Thank you, Felicia.
And even though we're talking about one of the bad scenarios, like the girl and her children that we're trying to raise funds for here, not every situation is physical. Not every situation is physical. You can have mental and verbal that is just as bad sometimes, if not worse or close to physical. It's the demeaning, it's the control. Just like Josh said earlier, you do it in secrecy because of the escalation, because they're fixing to lose control, or they're in fear of losing control. And so that's going to escalate,
Absolutely. That is their worst fear, is the fear of losing that control.
Exactly. And so they've been controlled for so long, even once they get the help and get out, they still live in fear because they were in fear for so long, they haven't felt that freedom. This is going to be a long road for her. Just getting her relocated and started, that's not going to fix it. She's got a long road of recovery, mentally, physically, emotionally, her children. Like, this is not just, oh, let's get her out and then she's going to be okay.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. And unfortunately, this is why laws and law enforcement needs to be constantly educated, because one of the first questions they ask when they're called is, did he hit you? Show me the mark. And, we all know that the scars and sores of mental, financial, emotional abuse they run much deeper. And it's much harder to prove because it turns into a he said, she said thing then.
Another thing that's important to know before, when you're planning to leave, is to know your support services. I know a lot of times these support services fail us anyway, but it is important. Not all of them do, and there is help out there. So know your support services, domestic violence hotlines that can help you develop your plan, locate emergency housing, connect with counselors or legal aid. And then it also gives you the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Does somebody want to put this number in the chats? The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. 1-800-799-7233. So all you got to remember is 1-800-799-SAFE. And then 10, and it's a very important thing, to build a support network. So you want to be able to surround yourself with support, right? Because, like you said, getting out is just the start, because you still have a lot that you're going to have to be dealing with. So you're going to want to build a support network. You don't have to do this alone, and that's just like what we're doing right here today. Is we were showing you that you don't have to walk the walk alone. There are people out there that care. There is support, and we are here to support you. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out to domestic violence advocates, friends or family who will support you without judgment, shelters, and those are just some things that point on that, the baseline for be thinking about, or things to do whenever you're planning to leave a situation. Is there anybody else that wants to speak? All right, guys, remember we're here for everyone to show up today for Andrea. We're trying to get Andrea to a safe place. She is in an active domestic violence situation that she is trying to get out of and get away from. The only way for her to be able to do that safely is to completely leave town. She is going to need support and help with travel, with the U-Haul, with getting, I mean, there's so many things. The goal that they set in the GoFundMe is 20. That it's actually going to take, it's going to take a lot more than that, but 2,500 is to help get out, and to get her to a safe place, to where she has family and to where she has a support system.
Do we have the information to be posted to direct them, or a link to direct them to the GoFundMe? Well,
I don't think that we do, and I'm not quite sure how to do that on here.
okay.
If is somebody in here that's modern that can still do that, they can do that.
Chris, do you have access to the link for the GoFundMe?
But also anyone that wants to go to GoFundMe, if you're watching now, you can also go to the last video that I posted on this live. There is a QR code. Also, if we're not able to get it up here, you can go to that video. And we're going to continue at this until we reach our goal and we're able to get her out, whether we get it done today or not, or whether we have to do it again tomorrow or the day after and the day after and the day after that. So if anybody has any ideas or any ways to help that would help us out and help it under reach our goal and be able to get to safety, then feel free to share that with us, because we're open to all that.
Are you still on lock?
And like we said, if you can't donate, please share it out. Please share it out, and you can show your support in that way. One of you for being here.
Absolutely.
And remember, guys, each and every one of you, we're all, as individuals, we're only one person, but we're always stronger together when we come, and we can get this done.
Exactly. Exactly. Just if you can give $1, $1 adds up. I mean, if you can't even give $1, just share it out. You've heard the story. You know what we're trying to do. If you're asked, this is exactly what's going on. Trying to get her a fresh start. Find the resources, to get her on, down the freedom down the road, because it takes a long time. I mean, like I said, I went through it. I went through it very, very young. And years, all of my children are with my current husband. But what happened to me back then, when I was 16, 17, I was married to the man for 5 years. And for 5 years, I put up with it. And you can't just erase it. You can put it in the back of your mind and use it when you need to, but you always have that defense mechanism. Trust is a very hard thing. This isn't going to be an easy road for her, considering what she went through in just a short amount of time, what she endured from this person. Like, it's traumatic, and it sticks with you. You can forgive, but you'll never forget. I only forgive because my good Lord above me and the higher powers above me tell me I need to help me, but it still affects me to this. Speak on a personal level of how I feel of what it was done to me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can empathize. But I can empathize and I can sympathize because I've lived it. I can't sit there and say I know exactly what I can say I know exactly what you're talking about to a certain extent, especially when you live it. Being able to a situation that you live through is such an exhilarating feeling, but you also know it's going to be so hard for them still. But if I can help one person and one person only, and it's a success, I did something. And I didn't have help back then. I was 16, 17 years old. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to go back and have anybody say, oh, I told you so, or,
Right.
whatever. I blamed myself. I blamed my parents. I was a baby. The only person I was supposed to blame, God rest his soul, was my ex-husband. And I'll be honest with you, I could not forgive him until I found out that the man had passed away. Because then, unfortunately, I knew how free I was. And that relief that I didn't have to look over my shoulder anymore. Because even being married and having my own children, I was constantly looking over my shoulder because that's how fearful I was of that man. And it's a struggle for me every day to not let it affect me to this day. And that's why I thank God every day for my current husband, because like I said, I didn't trust men. This man fought for me, not against me, not beating me. You know what I mean? For me, which was totally different than what I was used to.
Right.
And he's a strong man because I'm damaged. When you go through something like that, you're damaged, but you can heal.
Absolutely.
You've got the scars, but you will heal.
You can.
You're still going to have that pain every once in a while from that scar, but you can still heal from it.
Absolutely. And you can learn from, you can never get rid of that experience. Something that'll always be in your mind, but you can learn from it, you can grow from it, and you can heal.
I mean, if I had the resources just on my own, by gosh, I would go swoop her up and everything. But we all have lives. We all have everything. We can't just do that. And this right now, me personally alone, this is the best I can do for her right now until we get into a position to go swooping in. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this to where we can swoop in. But it takes more than one person.
It does. And we can make that happen. We can do that. Is there anybody that wants to come up and speak? I know I keep asking that, but I'm just trying to give everybody the opportunity that has anything that they want to add about this subject of domestic violence. If you're more than welcome to come up in the box and share with us or share your experiences. Yes, Felicia. Yes, please. Yes, yes.
If she's ready, I possibly may have a way to get her from where she's at to where she needs to be. I just have to make a couple phone calls.
That would be awesome.
So let me do that when we get off here today, or while we're here, I'll jump off and see what I can do. But if Josh, if you could just text me the state that she's in and the state she needs to be in. I think it's already been published or whatever, but you know what I mean. So that has the ability to do these kind of travels. That may be able to help, so I can. You don't have to give me addresses now or anything, but just like state to state, if you could text that to me. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Felicia.
You're so welcome. I just thought of somebody.
Nothing short of amazing, and the support that I've seen from you and see you giving others, and the support you've given me throughout my journey. After losing Whitney, I really appreciate you, Felicia. Thank you.
You are so incredibly welcome. That's what we're all here for.
I'm going to have to pop out of here. I just want to say thank you for everybody that came in and shared, everybody that has been sharing this live and listening to the story and coming up and speaking. This is what it's about right here. I wish I could stay longer, but I do appreciate you guys listening. And if there's anything else that I can do, Josh, just reach out to me. You've got me on contacts now. And then we'll just go from there.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
It's kind of winding down here, so I don't know how much longer we'll keep this going. I'm not quite sure where we're at or anything either, but I'll definitely get back with you. And if we didn't make it happen today, like I said, we're going to keep going until we do. So this may just be the first of a series of lives that we're going to be holding for Andrea until we can get her to safety.
Make sure you share it to me whenever you go live.
I sure will, Mama D, and that's another thing I want to tell you too, Mama D. You're another one that has been right by my side since I started on here, and your support and the love that you show me has been awesome, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and it means everything to me. You've inspired me, and you're one of those that have kept me going. Both of you guys. So thank you all so much.
You have become family. I love it.
You're so welcome, Josh. And I love you, brother. And we're here for support always. Don't ever forget that.
Stronger together.
You let me know.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right, guys. I think if we don't have anybody left that wants to come up and speak, I think we're going to go ahead and close the live. And we'll be making everybody aware of whether we're going to hold another live. I'm sure we will. We'll probably be doing it again tomorrow. So we'll make another video and let everybody know what time that'll be. And we appreciate all the support and appreciate you being here. And everybody remember that it only takes, we're always stronger together, but it only takes one person to make a difference. And you can make a difference. You can help somebody. And remember to always choose love and choose kindness and be a light. But anyways, we will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for being here. Please,
All right. Call me if you need
love you
anything,
guys.
Josh.
Thank you all.
If I can do anything.
What'd you say, Mama?
I said, call me if I can do anything to help.
All right, Mama D. Thank you.
All right,
Bye bye.
I guess.